good people, your introductory episode, American Arena League, the 5th quarter. This is going to be our scheduled release episode. We'll be talking to the coaches as well as the commissioner, just kind of catching you guys up on, what's happening with the league, starting to build that excitement for what's coming, because we know it's going to be a competitive league. It's going to be a fun time, and a lot of new faces. A lot of people you're going to be able to get to know. You may know some, you may know all, but it's going to be definitely an enjoyable experience. This is your guy, Cool McCain. I'm your host, and we're going to go ahead and get started by getting the teams in here. So let's get it going. Coach Daniels is going to be joining me here. Coach Daniels, how's it going, sir?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just hanging in there. Excited about the schedule coming out earlier today. So, just gearing up, getting ready for a good season.
Dig it, man. So, Coach Daniels, for those who may not be aware of you or those who are being reintroduced, you are obviously coach for Columbus Lions. Let us know a little bit about you, sir, and how you got to this point.
Well, I played for Columbus, man. I started playing in 2007 with the Columbus Lions. Like I said, walked out on an open tryout, made the team, and had a pretty decent career. And once I got done playing, I started coaching. My first coaching job was actually under Coach Rez, the head coach at Wheeling. We was in what was that? High Country Grizzlies is where I started my coaching career. But then I came back home and I was the defensive back coach for under Jason Gibson, and then I started being the head coach in 2024.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, man. So welcome to the AAL.
Yes, sir.
Glad that it's getting restarted up, and we're gonna have obviously an exciting product, and of course, your Columbus Lions are going to be a major part of that.
Right.
We do have the schedule release, but before we go through the schedule release, any specific pickups, moves, or anything that you guys have made that you want to go ahead and maybe let the people know about?
Right now, we just kind of getting started. We had some new ownership that we had to kind of take care of first. We have a new majority owner and Roger Beck taking over, so it's gonna be a little new for us. So we was kind of holding off on as far as building the roster, but I do have a good core group of guys that I know is coming back. We just announced my first defensive back, Drell Green. He's been playing here since 2021, I think. That was his first year, so he'll lead us in the secondary. And I got a couple D linemen that played for me last year, and but right now, like I said, we just kind of getting started, really building that roster.
Gotcha. I mean, you always have to start somewhere, and there'll definitely be a lot more news, a lot more information. So definitely be paying attention to the teams, following their pages. We'll go over those, of course, with these gentlemen, so you have a chance to follow and kind of see what's happening.
Right.
All right, and let's get into the schedule here, man.
Right.
So, week 1, you guys will start off the season. One of the 3 teams that'll play week 1. One of the teams is on bye week 1. Before 16, you're going to be playing the Tri-City River Gators.
Right.
So, I'm sure that you have got some information on this team. How do you feel that game is going to go for Columbus?
I mean, the thing about Columbus is never about the opponent. The thing that we do here in Columbus, we worry about us. And so we have dominated in every league that we've been in, regardless of the league, regardless of the competition. So we expect to dominate and compete for a championship. And it starts that first game. So and it just happens to be Tri-City. So hopefully we can, go through training camp, build a good roster, build a roster that we need, and be ready to come out swinging.
All right, I like that. Before 23, you guys are playing the Wheeling Miners, who will be talking with them later.
Right.
Your thoughts on playing the Miners so early in the season, and how you feeling about that game? I know you saw about changes. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely all about us, but the matchups, of course, gonna speak for themselves. And us and Wheeling, we played in the NAL together last year. We split 1-1, so it's gonna be a great matchup. Definitely looking forward to it. Like I told you before, Coach Reds, he gave me my first opportunity as a coach, so got a lot of love and respect for Coach Reds and his coaching ability. So I know it's gonna be a good game. I know he's gonna bring some good talent down here, so it's gonna be one to watch.
All right, fair enough. All right, then we have another game, of course, after that one, and that's going to be 4:30 against the Mississippi Wolfpack.
Right.
Thoughts on playing Wolfpack?
Well, the Wolfpack. I mean, of course, don't know a whole lot about them, but I know enough. I know that they won the championship last year in the AAL too. So
Okay.
any champion, is going to be a formidable opponent. So I'm sure that's going to be another good game. And like I say, just looking forward to building our roster and getting better week by week. So that'll be our third game. So hopefully, we'll be rocking and rolling by then.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we do have a game also 5:17, which will be the game before your bye. Now that team I don't have the name of in front of me. I'm sure you know who it is that you're playing. What's the name of
But
that
no,
team?
we got New Jersey after the Wolfpack.
Okay, it's New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, we got New Jersey out the Wolfpack, and of course that's Coach AJ. And like I say, like I say, I don't know a whole lot about them,
Yeah,
but
you're
they
right.
played. Yeah,
Game
they
ahead. My
played. They
bad.
played Mississippi in the championship last year, and that game came down to the wire. So I know those are going to be two good teams coming in this league. So like I
Yeah.
say, I feel like we got a pretty solid lead, man. It's going to be some good teams, some good games. So like I say, it's all about us getting better week by week, and hopefully, things will go our way. But after that, you say you don't have name. That'll be
Yeah,
Peach
P State.
State.
I got you
Yeah,
now.
Peach
P
State
State Cats.
Cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before our bye week. Like I said, we played them the last couple of years in some exhibition games. So they're a good team, got a good program with Coach Moreland. So I know he's gonna have some guys that's gonna be ready to come and compete.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, did kind of jump a little bit there, but yeah, it's gonna be some fun matchups to start off. I think everybody's schedule is gonna look pretty similar as far as how fun it's gonna be, different teams you're playing,
Right,
and getting a chance to get those reps and get those games under your belt. All right, and then
right,
of course you got your bye on 5:23, a chance to kind of recharge, see where you guys are sitting,
right,
make whatever changes you need to for the stretch run. And then speaking of the stretch run, 5:30, back with the Mississippi Wolfpack. This time you'll be, of course, traveling to Mississippi playing them. So that'll be a chance, to get a second matchup against Mississippi. Obviously, you learn a little bit, in the first matchup, as you said. This is a team that, you'll have played by this point, but hadn't played up until this point. Get a chance to learn a little bit about them. And then on 6-6, you'll be playing the Carolina Predators.
right.
So that'll
Like I
be a
say,
first-time opponent.
yeah, another good game. I think that's an AL2 opponent. But
Mm-hmm.
like I say in Cologne, we don't take anybody lightly. I know that all these guys are gonna have some great athletes, some great talent. So we've learned in the past about taking people lightly. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody can win a football game on any night. So
Yeah,
like I say, every week we're gonna be building to get better and do what we do.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, obviously, we're early on, but looking at your schedule, obviously, two more games after this, and that would be your two more rematches. You'll be playing the Willie Miners again on 6/13, and then the Jersey Bearcats will be, your closing game. You'll have them at home on June 20th. So
Right.
obviously, those will be two more teams you'll get a chance to get that second matchup against. If you need to make adjustments, adapt, and everything, you get a good opportunity to do so. So how do you think you guys are? Of course, early on, but how do you think you guys are going to fare in your first season in the AAL?
Like I said earlier, there's only one standard in Columbus, and the standard is the standard, and every year going into it, it's all about winning championships. So how we get there is one thing, but that's what it's all about. So like I said, our thing is to dominate and complete that standard, and that's win the championship. And I know those last two games, going to Wheeling and then playing New Jersey again at home, that's going to be huge for us going in the stretch. Hopefully, and that'll be all about playoff seeding and, the whole nine. So, like I say, it's just about building week by week. And hopefully, by then we'll be ready to compete for a championship.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. One of the things I wanted to point out for those of you who were watching, Turf Talk AL2 last year, you'll see a couple of those teams there. They'll be playing some of the AAL teams. As Coach alluded to, you never take teams, for granted, because these are guys that want to be where these AAL2, players are. So they're going to go out there and they're definitely going to step up in those games. I think it's a great opportunity for those guys to be seen and then to get some other audiences a chance and an opportunity to see these AAL teams. So I think it's going to be a great mix, and kudos for the schedule makers kind of making that happen. I think that's a great idea.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it, man. Like you say, AAL coming back. I think we have four great teams in it. But like you said, to have the mixture of the AAL2 teams is going to just build more excitement and bring more exposure to this league. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And hopefully everybody can have a great season and it be everything that we want it to turn out to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Coach Daniels, before I let you go, please let the people know where they can find you and also where they can find the team information.
Well, you can go on our website, columbuslions.net. We're on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, um, and you can follow me as well, or you can email me personally at ddaniels.com. I know ddaniels at columbuslions.net.com. I mean, D Daniels at ColumbusLions.net. Excuse me.
Are you
But
good? You good?
yeah, so for any players out there that's looking for opportunity, always looking to upgrade my roster. And like I say, it's all about building and winning championships. So, I'm all about giving guys, an opportunity. So we're always looking.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and transition over to our next team. But in the meantime, um, again, thanks, Coach Daniels, for hopping on. Good luck with the season, and of course, we'll be chopping it up a lot more along the way.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, good people. So we back. Got a second coach here. This is somebody that you may be familiar with if you, watched AO two Turf Talk at all last year. The Mississippi Wolfpack. This would be the team that kind of got the job done last year. They were the winners of the AAL2, as Coach James kind of mentioned a few moments ago. Coach Strong, what's going on, man?
What's going on with it? Cool? Everything good?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. Again, congratulations on the AAL2 championship last year. We'll stop talking about that now because we focused on the future now. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and throw you guys one more shout out because being a champion is hard.
Yeah, I know it. And yeah, we won that, man. You keep saying that we kind of won. No, we won that, buddy.
Oh no, I didn't say kind of. I said congratulations on winning. I ain't wasn't no kind. No sir, no kindness in there. You win or you don't.
Yeah.
I was just
How
saying
everything been going with you, cool?
Oh, everything's been going well. Everything's been going well, man. Back to covering some good old fashioned indoor football. Love it.
Back at it again, ain't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So any specific signings or player pickups that you'd like to throw out there for the people?
Yeah, I think I picked up a good fullback signing the fullback from the Tri-City. I mean, I always liked the way that guy ran that football, and I think he'll be a great asset to how we like to do things. I mean, he's a big back, and Jason Hall, and I mean that guy a beast, and I think he'll a great sign. He'll a great sign.
Okay.
He'll a good sign. I mean, if you ever get a chance to watch the Tri-City, big number 34, man, he was a bowling ball down through there. And so I think he's going to be a great asset to the team, to what we like to do.
There's nothing like a bowling ball with feet. Nothing like it. All right. Any other signings? Any other big signings, Coach Strong?
Yeah, we got some guys that I signed, man, and I just ready to see how those guys work and see what they can add to the team.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we just reloading. And trying to see what we can do this year. Ready to. I'm excited to get the chance to work with these guys, man, and see what they bring to the table.
I'm all about it. I love it, man. I love it.
But it's a lot of good guys. I mean, it's a lot of great guys that I think I signed, but I just want to see what they bring to the table.
Just want to see how that mix gets first.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Understandable. So, yeah, we'll hop into this schedule here, Coach Strong. So, on 4/18, your home game, your season opener, you guys got the piece of cake. Excuse me.
Peach State Cats.
Yes, sir. How you feeling about that matchup?
We played Peach State last year, and they're a hell of a great football team. I know they're gonna be looking forward to get their get back, and we'll be ready for them. And I think it's gonna be a great competition. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a very exciting game, the first game of the season, and they're gonna be great competition. And we just go out there and play ball with them. It's gonna be a dogfight.
I dig it. And then after that, on April 25th, you got a home game against the Jersey Bearcats, a team that you guys are definitely familiar with. How you looking? How you feeling about that particular matchup?
That's gonna be a big one as well, because it's gonna be the rematch of the championship, and we're gonna take things back to the table and go at it again. Go at the team. I mean, of course, the first game you saw it was a dog fight. I mean, we're all the way down to the wire. So that right there gonna make this matchup that more exciting when we play the second time around for the rematch. So that's gonna be a much watched game for everyone.
Yeah, definitely a game to keep your eye on for sure.
Yeah.
Columbus Lions on May 2nd. That'll be a away game. You'll be at Columbus. How you feeling about your first matchup against Columbus?
Columbus will be a new team. We haven't never faced them. It'll be our first matchup. Mm-hmm. But, I've heard a lot of great things about them. I know they're a great team, great organization, great coaches. And it's going to be exciting. You're going to be exciting to my guys to match up with their guys and just see how the things turn out. It's going to be a great game. They've been around for a long time and they know what they're doing over there. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Definitely. All right. And then on May 9th, got a home game against the Wheeling Miners.
Same thing. They're a new team and great organization, great ball players. Looking forward to the matchup. Looking forward to the matchup. Lining my guys up against theirs, and let's go at it. I mean, they won the championship, did the same thing that we did, so that's going to be an exciting game to watch.
I dig that too. Absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of these matchups, man, not all are going to be very exciting, to watch, just because it's going to be a lot of first-time matchups. Going to be some, rematches in there. One of those, of course, another team that you guys know a little bit about, the Tri-City River Gators. You'll be playing them on May 16th.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting. We played them, I think, like 4 times last year. Then, I mean, it wasn't no easy game. So, ain't no game on our schedule going to be easy. Tri-City, they reloading too. So it's going to be very exciting to see what they have and just see how they going to match up, how we going to match up with them. So I'm looking forward to that game as well. I think we played them twice.
Yes, sir. You also played them on June 6th. So then you had your bye week on May 23rd. Of course, you have that same bye week that 3 other teams have. So this is a perfect point for me to do this. I kind of like to do it a different place for different people, just so it doesn't seem like everybody the same. Coach Strong, please let the people know a little bit about you, how you got here, all that good information.
I played football at where we had a powerhouse here in Batesville, Mississippi, called South Panola High School. And I was a star linebacker here, and I took my talents over to the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, where I had an outstanding career there. And I got banged up a little bit, didn't get a chance to advance my NFL career like I would. Never could bounce back from the injury, but I had a great career, playing football. And so after the football, I kind of started playing arena football a little with the Memphis Explorers, Manchester Wolves, Philadelphia Souls, and then I kind of got a break. And then we had a team that came to Batesville last year. Year before that was the Raiders, and they wanted me to come on the organization and help them out. And I did. I was the head coach, and things didn't go well with that organization. It was a bunch of BS, but that team didn't last. And I told the guys that were with me that I promised them that I would bring back a team for them for us to play. So, I figured I knew I got great guys, and I just wanted them to have a football season. So that's when I created the Mississippi Wolfpack. And the Wolfpack name comes from when we was freshmen at Ole Miss, we used to call ourselves the Wolfpack. So I figured that would be a good, name for the team. They call us the Wolfpack, and we got the team together. Things started out a little shaky, but the players they end up coming together, and every game we got better and better. And here we are, 2025 AAL2 champion. So this how I got to where I'm at now. So I'm just excited and looking for the next season.
Absolutely. Then guys will come back on May 30th. Or you have a home game, your second one against those Columbus Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had a chance to kind of fill each other out, make some adjustments if needed, and kind of, somebody get a chance to get their get back, whoever, doesn't come out on top on their first one.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely.
Then, of course, you'll have that second one we talked about with the River Gators.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'll be the same motivation for whoever doesn't get that first one. And then on the 13th, that second time this year in this season, you'll be playing the Jersey Bearcats.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, of course, you'll finish your season away at the Wheeling Miners.
Yeah, like every game gonna be it's gonna be a fun game. It ain't like I told the guys, ain't no game on this schedule is easy. But we're gonna keep the same mentality we had last year. We come out, hit them in the mouth. And play football. That's it. May the best team win.
Yeah, how the old saying go? Everybody tough till they get hit in the mouth.
That's it.
We'll see who's tough afterwards, right?
We'll see who's tough, but we're gonna continue to play our type of football, and I'm just ready to get started working with these guys. They excited to get started, to start working. So it's gonna be something to look forward to, most definitely.
Most definitely. Cool. Coach Strong, please let the people know where they can find you, as well as where they can find the team.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook and IG. You can find me as Eddie Strong, or you can find me as Mississippi Wolfpack on both of those platforms, and we'll be there, man. We'll be there, and we're just looking forward to this. I'm excited, man. I talk to the guys, and they excited, and I'm just ready to rock and roll, man. But they can find me there, though. They can find me there.
And where can they find the team, Coach Strong?
You can find the team at Mississippi Wolfpack at IG.
Okay.
Also on our Facebook. You can find them on Facebook as Mississippi Wolfpack.
Fair enough. All right. Again, good luck during the season. We'll definitely be chopping it up more, and be watching and keeping track of what's going on with everyone.
Okay, I will. I feel like this thing came around so fast, but I'm ready for it.
Absolutely, man. 100% agree.
All right, cool. Good talking to you again, man.
You as well, man.
All right.
All right, so we're bringing in coach of the Wheeling Miners, Coach Rez. So I haven't had an opportunity to speak with Coach Rez before. I've heard a lot of good things about Coach Rez. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, what's going on now? How you been?
Hey, man, I can't complain. How are you?
You can't call it, man. Just on the grind like always. I'm on the
Yes,
road
sir.
now, so excuse the darkness.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens. So, Coach Rez, um, just for those who may not be aware of you, may only have heard of you, may never have heard of you, anything. Please let the people know a little bit about you and how you got to where you're at.
Yeah, so coming up on the 2026 season will actually be my 20th season in this game as a player and a coach. So I'm looking forward to that. And with the AAL coming back, Duffy and I actually won a championship together in 2018 versus the Richmond Rough Riders in the second to last season of the AAL.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool to be able to, with the AAL coming back and kind of get back involved with that again. And then, of course, winning the AAL2 championship in the 2024 season.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, making the move to the NAL last year. For me personally, that was my fifth season in the NAL. I had been previously in the NAL with the Carolina Cobras and the High Country Grizzlies, and really been around quite a bit. Almost every team that's been in North Carolina, in the NAL, the AAL, AIF, AIFA, pretty much all the alphabets. It's been involved in a lot of different good organizations and bad organizations. It's the indoor game is funny.
Yep.
With different ownership groups, and it's it's a grind for sure. So, but originally from California, went into the Marine Corps. That's what brought me to the East Coast. So I was in the Marines, did 2 tours in Iraq, 2003 and 2004 in Battle of Fallujah. After that, I got out, and then I played 2 years arena football, and then been coaching ever since. I also coach high school football. I took this year off, but really, really excited for what's coming up and what we're building in the Ohio Valley there in Wheeling, West Virginia.
I dig it, man. I dig it. Yeah, I'm in the Charlotte area, so I've definitely heard about your many stops here in the Carolinas. So definitely know a little bit about some places you've been. So any major signings or anything you'd like to discuss with any players before we get into your schedule?
No, not at the moment. We just
Okay.
had a tryout this past Friday. Decent turnout of some local guys, and I just actually got announced coming back to the team this past Friday. I had announced my departure at the end of the NAL season, and a couple different opportunities here and there, and things just worked out with the ownership and Wheeling, and we were able to get things worked out, and last year I was the general manager. Last 2 years, general manager, head coach, and I just wanted to coach. That's what
Yeah.
I was looking forward to, and so we were able to get that worked out. I'm still going to help with sales and business. I always do that. That's what I'm good at. So, you got to be successful in sales for the teams to be successful. So I learned that early on. So I was able to learn a lot of different things from some good people. And so yeah, so hadn't really got too many signings. I got a list of guys that I've been talking to, of course, and keeping close contact with some of our guys from last year, and helping some guys get into the IFL and different things like that. So I've done pretty good through the years of putting together some pretty good rosters. So we'll be pretty competitive again, and this year, like every other year, Coach Daniels kind of spoke on a little bit. I'm the same way. I always feel that we are our best opponent ourselves, and we're always trying to be the best that we can be, and play some good football, be physical, and the rest should take care of itself.
Definitely understand. Definitely understand. All right, man. So we'll get into the schedule here. So I was alluding to the fact that 3 of the teams out of the 4 had a bye week later, and 1 team had the early bye, and that would be you guys. So you guys get a chance to kind of watch everybody else on the 18th before you guys start getting into your schedule.
Oh yeah, it's you'd like to have a game that first week, but we'll start camp a little bit later than everybody and get guys in town, and So it'll be good for, getting after it and get a chance to see everybody before we actually play our first game.
Yep. And it'll be a straight run after that. So on April 25th, you guys will play the Columbus Lions. So your thoughts on that first matchup with the Columbus Lions?
Yeah, it's always good to go back to Columbus. I was the defensive coordinator there back in 2013. So I still got a lot of friends and a lot of good acquaintances back there. And so it's always good to be there. It's always tough to play, there in Columbus. Coach Daniels does a great job there with his team, and always good to be able to get up with him. And I followed his career and everything that he's been doing. He mentioned that he coached with me back in 2017, I believe it was, with the Grizzlies. He was my defensive coordinator, and so it's always good to see them. And like he said, we split 1-1 last year in the NAL, so we're fairly familiar with each other as it is. We got away with one last game of the season last year. We came back we were down quite a bit and rallied there at the end and ended up winning the game in overtime. And it was a good win to end the season, and so I'm sure they're going to be really excited to get a crack back at us, after losing a tough one.
Yeah, I get it, man. Yeah, everybody always likes to get their get back. It's a big thing for teams. And then on May 2nd, you guys have a home game against the Jersey Bearcats. I know you guys have some familiarity from past times that you've played. Your thoughts on playing against the Jersey Bearcats?
Yeah, it's always tough playing against AJ. AJ does a really good job of putting together a good team. He does a really good job recruiting and building a roster that's very competitive year after year. So it's glad to be able to get back with them and be able to compete with them again. And we had a couple good matchups a couple seasons ago in the AAL2, and they were probably our toughest opponent for sure. So we had two really good games with them. So obviously going forward, we're not expecting anything less.
Definitely makes sense. All right, and then on May 9th, you guys will be traveling to the Mississippi Wolfpack. Your thoughts on the game with the Wolfpack?
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't really know a whole lot about, the opponent. So especially a game like that, you got to pay attention to the previous games and really do a good job with film study and scouting and those type things, and which we heavily meet. So being able to be prepared for them, is the standard for us. But again, playing somebody you don't know, your goal is to do the best that you can do within yourself, and that's usually takes care of the rest of it. But I followed them a little bit last year with the AAL2, seeing their season. I watched the championship game versus them and the Bearcats, and they're a gritty team. Their coach, I've heard a little bit about him. He's a scrappy guy himself, and pretty takes on the persona of his team is the same. So they're going to be very, very competitive and a physical team. So we're looking forward to it.
Fair enough. And then on the 16th, you guys will be matching up against the Michigan Raptors, and it'll be a home game for you guys. Your thoughts on that game?
Yep. So other than, some good athletes from that area, they usually have some good players in that region. Don't know hardly anything about this team. I think it's a new team, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. But, to have that opportunity to play against an AAL2 team, we were right there, the same as them. And, they're all, looking for a great opportunity. And we take it, a standard of ours is to take care of the away teams when they come in and show them how things are supposed to be. And, kind of use it as a recruiting tool so they see all the cool stuff that we got and what we do. And, and just let them have the moment, making the trip. And, usually you get some really good performances out of guys that, are on a good stage like that. So, we always look forward to an opponent like that.
Yeah, definitely. And then you got another AL2 game there, the Pittsburgh Outlaws on May 23rd. Thoughts on Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so that's more of a local team for us, just an hour down the road from us. So, we'll be fairly familiar with a lot of their players and their owners and coaches and whatnot. So, they had some of their guys at our tryout this past week, and always good to be able to support them and whatever we can do to help out. And so to be able to, I wanted to make sure we got them on the schedule this year and really give their guys an opportunity to play on a big stage. And it's always cool to be able to give guys opportunities like that.
Yeah, I definitely dig that. Then, of course, your rematch with the Jersey Bearcats. This will be the one that'll be at home for you guys. Your thoughts on that second matchup with Jersey Bearcats? Anything different? I know a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, it's just, making the adjustments because you've already played, so you kind of have an idea of what you're going to get. It's just, making the adjustments and being prepared. And, of course, whoever loses is going to be there for they get back. Whoever loses the first.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anytime that you're playing an AJ team and playing the Bearcats, it's always going to be a fight and, very good competition. So whoever wins that first game, they're definitely going to be doing everything they need to do to make the correct adjustments to have a better performance that second game. And I really feel it'll be a close game all the way to the end. It usually is. So I take back to the playoff game that we played. That was a pretty tough game, and they would say that they felt like they got robbed, in certain situations, but we came out on top and advanced, and then so it's always good to face the Bearcats. So a lot of good history there, and it's always fun. And AJ's a hell of a guy, and he was a good player himself, so he's always trying to be the best, and so you don't expect anything less from him and from his team.
Definitely makes sense. Then your last AL2 matchup, the Maryland War Eagles, you'll have them on June 6th. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, so I've known Coach Steeple for a long time, and Coach Robinson. With them combining their team, I thought that was pretty cool to see them do that, and really combine their talent from their two teams, and so be able to have them come back into town, is always good to see those guys, and they're going to have some really good football players from that area, in another good football region. So it's always exciting to, for a great matchup, get some great athletes.
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, you finish your season June 13th with the rematch against the Lions. And then June 20th, or your season finale, a home game against the Mississippi Wolfpack. So obviously another chance to see those two teams, again, playoff seeding, those type of things will be important, as well as, whoever lost the first game is going to obviously be a little bit more motivated when the second one comes around. But any thoughts on either one of those two games?
Yeah, those two games will be important, specifically for playoff seeding. Everyone's going to be fighting there at the end, and everyone's trying to finish, first overall, and, to be able to host that number 4 team. And, I feel like, you don't want to be a 2 or a 3 seed, because that's going to be, fairly tough, as it is. So everyone's going to be fighting for that 1 seed. And, it's going to be, especially Columbus, it's always going to be a fight with us. And, it came down between us and them last year, who's going to make the playoffs. We had to win the last 2 games, which was against Columbus. And if we split with them, then they advanced. And it was pretty much the playoff started before the playoff started. So that's the type of atmosphere that it's going to be, and those last couple games. So definitely need to take care of our bodies, throughout the season, and that's where the injury bug usually hits people there at the end, and so we want to make sure that we do a good job of taking care of everybody, leading up to that point.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. So, Coach Rez, if you would, please let the people know where they can find you, as well as where they can find um, information for Will.
Yeah, so I'm on all the social media stuff. Fairly, I'm still the old school on the Facebook stuff, so I don't really do a whole lot of anything else. But team wise, we're on all the social media platforms. You can follow us on our website at gowvminers.com. We're a big emphasis on entertainment, for our fan base. So when teams come to town, it's going to be a great show and, definitely a good indoor arena football atmosphere for everybody. And, it's going to be a great season.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Love to hear it. Again, Coach Rez, thanks for your time. Good luck this season, and definitely be checking in with you quite a bit.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and get into the last of the teams here, not the least, the New Jersey Bearcats and head coach AJ Roque. Coach, what's going on?
What's up,
There we
cool
are.
man? Back. Here we go. Back another season.
Yeah, man. Yeah, excited, man. Love the move for y'all in Mississippi to the AAL. I think it makes a lot of sense, and it's exciting, man. You guys were definitely teams that were, I'd say, the top of the AAL2, so it's a move that makes sense. And enjoy seeing you guys make some progress and see who we get out there this year, and all that good stuff. But before we get into that, for those who may not know, I don't know if there is, but for those who may not know, please let the people know who you are, sir, and how you got here.
Yeah, AJ Roque, head coach, Jersey Bearcats. Played indoor game for a few years. I started out in the Albany Conquest in the AF2, and then got released there, and then went to the AIFA, the real AIFA. As I always say.
Yes, you do.
With the Harrisburg Stampede and such, and it was great times. Ended up in the IFL with the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks 2011. Then after that, it was called it quits. I had my daughter, and focusing on my babies. So, and here we are in 2019. We started the Bearcats, and we just continued to grow each year.
Yeah.
And here we are, continuing to grow.
Oh yeah. Don't know if you were listening, man, but Coach Rez had a lot of positive things to say about you as well as some of the other coaches. But yeah, man. So this is going to definitely be fun. So
Rez is the man.
Oh yeah, Coach Rez he ain't no joke.
That's the man.
So, any big signings so far for the Jersey Bearcats?
Signing, no. We do have our first tryout this Saturday coming up. We do have some guys coming out. There's a DB specifically that I know that'll be there that's coming out that, we're really, really looking forward to. He's going to be a guy that, we definitely are going to pay attention to, and, and hopefully he comes along and he's on our team for the 26th season.
Okay. I like it. All right, Coach, let's get into the schedule. So you guys start off April 18th against the New Jersey Eagles.
Yes, sir.
Thoughts on that game?
That's going to be believe it or not, that's going to be a really good game, right?
So. Yeah.
A lot of those guys played with the New Jersey Roughnecks last year, right? And the Roughnecks, they were pretty good. They were a good football team. All the stuff they had to deal with, ended up, making the season and having a great season, actually, finishing second in the East Division.
Yeah.
And now those guys get a fresh start in an organization that is organized. So, we're definitely looking forward to it. We know some of the guys over there from playing them last year. So, and we had great matchups last year. So, I wouldn't expect anything different. It's two teams in New Jersey.
Fair enough. All right, and then kind of talked about it from the other side already. Rematch, April 25th, Mississippi Wolfpack, and that's going to be in Mississippi.
Yeah, that I can't wait. For one, as everybody, it's not going to hide anything, right? That's one that's definitely circled, on our schedule. I think it was circled a minute after that game was over, last year. But right, it was a good game, right? Yeah, we came on the short end of it, but I think for the league and everything, and for the AL2, I think that pushed the league forward of what to expect with teams in the AL2. So yeah, Bearcats lost, but again, like I always say, as a league, we won that night.
Yeah, and then it's good to for you in Mississippi to be able to say you left the league in a better position than it was when you got there.
Right.
I can't always say that, but as long as some other guys there step up and take those lead roles, everything should be fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, and then May 2nd against Coach Rez and the Wheeling Miners, and you'll be in Wheeling for that game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, great team, great organization. We had some dog fights back in 2024, right? And don't expect to be nothing less than that. Every week, as I think Coach Strong was saying, every week is going to be a dog fight. There's no game you can be like, we could let some other people play this week. You can't do that. Can't do that this year at all with these opponents. But yeah, we're looking forward to making a trip out to Wheeling again.
Then right after that, one thing you can say is that you don't have a lot of easy games, or the divisional games are too spread out. Right after that, you come right back. You play the Columbus Lions on May 9th. That's on the Columbus game.
Yeah, a team that's been around for I think 20 years. I think this is their 20th season going into 26, and that's right. They're a standard in the indoor world. So they're always going to be a great organization, great players, great coaches, great everything, and you just want to make sure that you're ready for those challenges. When you play a team that's been around and established like that, and I think that's what we're looking forward to do, and we're looking forward to those matchups.
Fair enough. All right, and then you have the Tri-State Panthers on May 16th.
Yeah, so that's another. Well, they'll be playing out of Delaware, Newcastle, Delaware. But they're from South Jersey. They're going to play in Delaware because they're close with the Eagles. But another Jersey team, if you ask me. A lot of guys that know each other. Some guys that also played with the Roughnecks last year. So I expect that to be another fight. Again, two Jersey teams that couple of guys know each other and stuff. So guys are gonna be licking their chops to beat the Bearcats. I already seen some hashtags beat the Bearcats already from the schedule that came out. So it's starting already. It's all right.
Y'all should be used to it.
Yeah.
All right. Then you have the bye week on May 23rd.
Yep.
And after that, 4 more interesting games. We've got 5:30. You're playing Wheeling again in Wheeling.
Another dog.
Yeah. Like I've been saying for everyone, it's a get back for whoever doesn't win the first one, get back opportunity, or whoever wins the opportunity to sweep. And then, of course, you've seen each other, so it's a chance to make some adjustments. Obviously, rosters can change due to injury or signings, but for the most part, you have an idea of kind of, what the other team is going to be bringing by that point.
Yeah, and going back to 2024, when we played them, and Coach Rez was the head coach. As soon as they came into, the league, for myself, I was like, all right, well, this is, how good are we? What am I like as a coach going against, a coach that's well established and's been around, the game, and I look forward to, those matchups again, with them and Columbus, two great organizations and coaches.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, and then we have a home game on June 6th. Talk to us about that game, sir.
June 6th. That's CNY Devils. Yeah, so they're outside of the AL2. They're not in the AL or the AL. But they're a team that's playing in the WIF right now. That's in the playoffs in the Winter Indoor Football League right now. It could be a good game, right? Good talent. Any team that's in the playoffs, right? They got to be a good organization, right? Or have good players, or you wouldn't be there.
Right.
So it'd just be another, game that watch their film and see what our opponents look like.
I dig it. All right, and then you kind of already touched on the game on the 20th with the Columbus Lions and how that'll go. And obviously, some of those same things apply to your game on June 13th against the Mississippi Wolfpack. Mm-hmm. Another AL game, another matchup that's going to be jockeying for position. Guys are going to be trying to get their number 1 seed versus the 2 or 3. So it's just one of those things. But I like the way the schedule is laid out, because you get some of the other games mixed in, but you get those games against your other AAO teams. You get some quality opponents outside of that. So it's not one of those situations where, we're not worried about, if these are good games, we're just trying to get some other games on the schedule, which is what happens sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, the decision makers did a great job of making sure the schedules were laid out. Divisional games for everyone at the end of the year. Obviously, that makes sense. Well, I should mm-hmm. say, but it's really only one division, so I can say divisional and still be kind of correct. But, divisional games to end the seasons to help with jockeying for position and things like that. So it always seems to make for good, football at the end of the year. Glad that this is going to be here. There's going to be the experience that, the fans of this league are going to be able to have this year.
Right. Yep. And always playing, meaningful games, start to finish.
Helps keep you on your toes,
Yeah.
Can't back off. Got to be focused.
Yeah. Especially this year, with the teams in the AL, you have to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Continuously, trying to get better.
Yeah, and we know if things go as they should, that confident that there'll be some new additions for next season. So be excited about that. It's a little early to talk about it, but go ahead and throw it in the universe. Why not? So AJ, please let the people know, where they can find you and also where they can follow the Bearcats.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, AJ Instagram at Coach OK1. Bearcats you can find on Facebook, Jersey Bearcats Arena Football. Instagram at Jersey Bearcats. And that's it. Again, we got our tryout coming up Saturday, 3:30 registration, 4:00 trial start. Soccer centers in Somerset, New Jersey. So, it's a chance for guys to get opportunity.
Yep, definitely, man. Good luck to you guys throughout the season. Of course, we'll be chopping it up quite a bit. And, looking forward to how everything progresses and, how fun all the games in the league are going to be this year.
Yes, sir. Great 4-team league, right? With room to grow for 27.
Oh, yeah. You got to have start with the right people so that way when you're adding on, you're just adding to, already good base.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. Well, good luck, and we'll see you back on the next episode, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to be joined by the gentleman in charge, Commissioner Kevin O'Hanlon, the man with the at least part of the master plan, right?
Part of it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So how are things going, man?
Cool. Things are going great. Thank you, of course, for having me and having the teams. I think it's
Absolutely.
a kick off and continue to set the AAL apart.
Oh yeah, man. It's exciting, man. So how does it feel to be, with the league's coming back from, a couple of years hiatus and kind of building everything, back up, getting the right teams to start. Kind of how did you guys go about that process?
It was a slow, painful in the beginning. Me and AJ were talking way back when COVID just started getting serious, because we were trying then to go ahead and bring the league back. But of course, there's obstacles everyone faced with every job on the planet at that point. So we decided, let's pump our brakes and let's do it right. And we kicked the model around a bunch of times of how we're going to do it, what we're going to do. And then AJ just sat back and said, hey, let's really look at what's wrong with indoor or arena football. And I met AJ back when he started playing with Lehigh. I've been in this game probably coming up on 25 years, either playing, coaching, or now in the commissioner aspect. And you see so much pain. It's a niche sport. I try to tell AJ that all the time. It's a niche sport. The are going to be rabid fans. The fans we don't have are NFL and college football, and I get it. They're purists. Stick with it. I didn't think I was going to like it. Then I walked into an arena, went for a workout, saw the game played, and I was hooked. Like, wow, talk about violence, right? Talk about speed, scoring. Then I got into the coaching end and the GM end, and I had the pleasure to work for phenomenal owners. And that's where me and AJ started identifying what was wrong with arena and indoor football.
Yeah.
We had to vet our ownership group. We had to do things differently. So that's why you're seeing what you're seeing with the AAL2 and the AA. And I got to give a lot of hats off to the ownership of Wheeling and to the ownership of Columbus, because there's a point where, like, man, how are we going to do this? And I remember just sitting in a meeting one night, like, if we're thinking about doing this with two teams and having crossovers, what two teams are ready to become true professional football teams? Got on a separate call with AJ and Coach Strong, and I was like, man, if you're looking to fill it in, the schedule, like, what are you going to do? You're going to play a 2-game AAL2 schedule or play a full AAL schedule? What's holding you back? And he brought up some things that were holding him back, and like a great mentorship program. Columbus and Wheeling stood up and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to show you how to be not only competent owners, but quality owners. So now we have that mentorship, just in ownership. And then you talk about the champ, the backup champ, the first loser, unfortunately.
Wow.
But look who's graduated.
Yeah.
And I tell AJ all the time, there's probably not an arena or indoor football game in the league that I've missed in I don't know how many years. I'm a junkie for it. They do it right. AJ and his team, the dance team, the in-game shows that they do it right. And that arena is packed. Everybody wants to play in the 16,000, 20,000 seat arenas with 1,500 people there. Well, all you did is cost your ownership group money.
Yeah.
Like my ownership group, the last team I coached, Trenton Freedom, I was a head coach and GM there. My owner would ask me right after the game, how many walk-ups did you sell, Kev? Because he knew if I had that number right, they were making money. And making money might be paying arena that night, overheads, taking care of your salaries, your players, etc. And they do it right. And we wanted to make sure we vetted every team that applied to being an AAL. Vetting meaning, do you have your arenas? Do you have contracts with your arenas? Do the arenas even know you exist? And there are teams out there that will say they do when they don't. And that's what we're going to set ourselves away from, right?
Yeah.
Because now you're affecting towns. Here you are in, wherever, Osceola, Florida, and here come the alligators out of Osceola, Florida. And, they throw up a website. They throw up they're going to have a workout. Next thing you know, they have nowhere to play. Teams aren't showing up. So we really took that time to go back for a minute, cool, to how this all started. And I mean, every year we just chiseled it down up to the point where we start talking every couple of months. Then we start talking every couple of weeks. And now we're talking almost every day. And next thing you know, organically, it grew into what you're going to see the American Arena League in 2026. And you brought it up, I think you got 4 quality teams. They're going to play quality football that have been in championships. You have 2 great foundation pieces in Wheeling and Columbus who are lending, their knowledge to the Jersey Bearcats, to Mississippi, which is only going to foster great relationships, great rivalries. And another thing you brought up, we already know our phone's going to be ringing in 2027. But what we're not going to do is take that team from Colorado and expect them to travel across the country every other week, because all you're doing is killing that team. Great schedule, great, but what was put into that was travel.
Yes.
We're not build teams with travel costs, which is the biggest cost, and it's the league taking care of the owners, because that's who the league has to take care of. The team could take care of the players, their arena, the turf. They're going to look good, and I'm going to make sure of that we're not going to have 9 different colored helmets. It's going to be professional. It's going to look professional. Not going to have holes in the turf.
Boy.
It's going to be quality for the people to watch at home. Let it be through YouTube or whatever local broadcasting they have to have it out there. It's going to be quality, like this program, getting down to the meat and potatoes every week or ever often it's going to be. And we're going to be transparent. I don't hide. Unfortunately, I'm not a social media cat, so you can find me at AmericanArenaLeague.org. That's where you'll find me at.
Hey, that's an important place. As long as you can be found there,
yeah,
I would say that's probably the most important place, to be able to find you. So definitely understand. I like a lot of what you were saying. You kind of answered a lot of my questions, already. One of the big things I like is the consistency, like between AL2 and what you're saying AL2 is, AL is going to be as well. You kind of have that consistency. We're going to get teams that are within a reasonable distance of each other. As we branch out and get more teams, then maybe we say, okay, I've got these 2 teams that are close to each other, but it may be a little bit of a travel for everyone else, but they play each other twice. And then there's other teams that are close. And then already you've got AL2. So if you have a couple of AL2 teams close to them, you can probably work them into the schedule and kind of make it so it's not, as much travel. That's important, I think, too, because it gives you, like you said, you're taking care of the players, the teams, which then allows the teams to take care of the players and everybody else, the coaches and all that good stuff. But also it's showing like a mindset of we're going to grow, but we're going to do it where it's reasonable. We're not going to come out and try to go from 4 teams to 14 teams or 20 teams or anything just to be everywhere. We're going to do things that make sense. Vet teams, bring guys in that are going to not, dim the light of the brand by how they're playing and not having everything in place and all those good things. Again, a lot of the things from AL2, and I expect that with you guys as well, because I understand it's the same kind of brain trust. So you're going to have that same thing. So it lends a lot of, in my opinion, credibility, because you're having some of those same people that were helping create or take AL2 to where it's at. And now they're going to take AL and do the same thing with that. So excited to see that. And I hope everybody that's watching, everybody that listens, understands this is a major thing, because you're taking something, you're saying, we're bringing it back. We took the time to figure out what we felt was wrong and try to do our best to fix it. And then we're going to bring people in to make it exciting for everyone after we fixed everything. And we're going to do it where it's slowly, where it makes sense, but where it's going to help, the brand overall grow. A lot of leagues don't do that. but that's why a lot of leagues don't always succeed. So
Nope. Cool, you're 100% right, and that's exactly what we with the longevity of it, right? We're not going. It's not even a want. We want to be here later. We're going to be here.
Yeah.
How this kicked off organically, it was maybe a month ago. Me and EJ are sitting here talking. Well, here's this group of teams out in the Plains states, out in the Midwest. Guess where they want to be already? We hear you, but we're not looking at that right now because we're not going to ask you every other week to travel 2,200 miles, 1,500 miles, and then you're going to have these teams out on the East Coast travel. It doesn't make sense. But what we'll love to do was organically grow the Plains states, organically grow that Midwest, and now we're creating conferences and we're creating divisions and we're creating less travel for ownership. Sit back and go, you know what? I can afford that travel. That's the biggest cost. People think it's the arena rent, which is no joke. People think it's the uniforms, which of course is no joke.
Right.
But spend 25 grand on the game just traveling. And we wanted to make that the focal point of the American Arena League of, hey, this is a league for the ownership. Because if it's a league for the ownership group, cool, guess what? What is the AAL doing? Man, just talk to our owners. You mean you can tell me you can talk to the owners of Wheeling and Columbus and Jersey and Mississippi? Yeah, because they're not going to have anything bad to say. They're going to sit back and say how cost conscious it is and how they're finally getting a return, how they're finally able to pay their bills, how the small communities these teams are in can count on seeing their favorite team every Friday or Saturday night in May or April playing indoor football.
Yeah. And I also did want to piggyback off your point earlier about how the Bearcats experience is. There are some Thursday night games that somebody wanted to make sure we were aware of as well. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. But the Bearcats, I was able to go to the championship game, right? Interview some players. It was a great experience. But, man, if every AAL and AAL2 team had that atmosphere or something close to that, boy, that would be a big boom for, the leagues. Because that experience, man, that's a good experience. And it takes a lot of people to put that experience together. I got a chance to talk to all of them. And I got to tell you, it's a good group of people. And that's a great experience. If that's your first AAL experience or that was your first AAL2 experience, you're probably hooked. If it wasn't, you may or may not be. But once you go there, that might change your outlook just a tad bit. Just a tad bit.
Cool, you're 100% right. And but that you didn't bring up football. You brought up the environment.
Yes.
I try to, if I'm mentoring a GM or an owner, make it about the bowl, those seats around the field, because our clientele is a niche clientele.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to the bowling alley paying way too much or to the movies paying way too much, you can go to an arena game for way less. Maybe you catch a football, maybe you catch a t-shirt, maybe your kids are in a game running up and down, putting the pants and helmet on and having fun. But it's going to be loud. It's going to be wild. You have the music playing. It's just a fan-friendly environment that, like you said, you're hooked. You're hooked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. And like I said, man, I was able to go to some of the other teams, and, the experience may not have been exactly the same, but you can see, like, the vision is there. The goal is there, because different people are at different places. The support that you have, who you're able to get to, help with certain parts can make a difference. But the goal is there. Everyone's, the attempts are there. They're trying to get to that point or something similar to that. So that's a big piece for me as well, because it's all about, like you said, it's all about the experience. Like, the game is going to be the game. The game's going to be violent. It's going to be there for that group of people that want to see it. And one of the things I think when people walk in, like, people might say, indoor football, I want to see that, arena league football, whatever. But then once you come to a game, you sit and you watch a game, you kind of be like, okay, all right, this is different, but this is not necessarily, bad.
Yeah.
It'll be a good product. So I think a lot of people will get on that if they haven't already. And, one of the things you know about me is my goals get people, hey man, come see one. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I bet when you leave that one, you're gonna be like, well, maybe I'll go to another one. And like you said, it's more cost effective than a lot of other things that people are gonna do with your family. You know, family, friends, whoever. It's a great thing to do. And I think you guys are making it a product that people are going to want to come see. And that's one thing I feel like that may set you apart from some of the other leagues that I've seen games of, is that, you know, that experience for sure.
Yep, that's the goal. And make it again about the bowl, have a great experience where, like, even when I was coaching, I was a general manager, and I'd walk up the field. Of course, coach-wise, I wanted the W, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when those fans come down on the field and they're talking to you, when they don't know the score of the game because they had so much fun, let's not forget the dance teams. You have the dance teams in there with the fans doing things. There's everything. If you have a young son or a young daughter, there's something there for everybody to do. It's great. What you got to love what the American Arena League is doing. It's phenomenal to win a championship. But when you're seeing players getting called up and they're getting called up to the next level, let that be like the CFL, UFL, wherever it may be, AA2 to another IFL or whatever league it was before the AAL. That's great. Yep. I believe the Bearcats have had dance team members that are now dancing in the NBA and in the NFL. Like, how fun? Okay. Like, we're helping people's dreams become true for however few people it is or however many people it is. And I got to take the hat off to AJ and his team for having that foresight, right? I think it's wholesome, you know.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about AJ. He must be an all right guy.
Breaks, man. That head's getting kind of hard to get in his car. He's a very humble guy, and
yeah, he is.
It's probably the biggest friction between me and him is like, AJ, man, own what you're doing. Like, I want to go. Like, let's go. Come on. We got to go. We got to go. And I'll go, well, let me think about it. Or he won't say nothing. Like, he's just quiet. Like, what are you doing, AJ? It's a great idea. Like, we have some great plans. Maybe save it for another episode that we plan on having with the league, adding our own little flair with some things, our own little ingredients in American Arena football. Nothing crazy.
Right. Just some things that stick out a little bit.
And to make it more interesting for the fan.
That's always important.
All about. I mean, we're not going to have quarterbacks throwing for 26-point touchdown plays, nothing like that. But we're adding enough variety in it that it's just going to make it that much more interesting, on the edge of your seat, fun entertainment.
Fair enough. So, Commissioner, anything else for the people before we go ahead and let them get up out of here so we can save some of this energy for the rest of the episodes?
Yeah, cool. I'm going to end it with this. The American Arena League, as of now, will not pay for sins of the past. It's a whole new show ran by a whole new team doing a whole lot of good things with great ownership of the teams, laying that groundwork. So if you want to know, call the owners of the teams. Ask them what we're doing different. Ask them why they want to be here.
Hey, can't say any better myself. Everybody make sure that you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to the show. Make sure you're checking out the pages of the coaches and the teams. Make sure you're hitting my link as well. Let me get a little love too. Appreciate that. And we will be back in the next episode. This has been your American Arena League 5th quarter 2025 schedule release episode. Thanks to everyone that was able to come on, give us some insight, talk to us about the teams and the games. And Commissioner, thank you as well for being able to hop in and kind of give us a little bit of the business side, the back end, and some of the history on how we got to where we're at. And as Commissioner said, don't judge them for the past, just judge them for what they do.
Yes, sir. Thank you for what you do, Cole. We appreciate the support.
No problem. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back, of course, another episode. Keep your eyes open. There'll be a lot of content coming. Make sure you're ready for it.